All right, well, the next game is Fairy Season, and this is a light 3 to 5 player tricksy card game. It's kind of a trick-taking game. Definitely good for family play and light gameplay. In this game, you play goblin tribes trying to collect a bunch of fairies to shake out the fairy dust for your midwinter brew. There's a series of fairy cards. You might want to just flip a few over. Now you'll see there in Nikki's hand, we've got a couple of spring fairies, autumn fairies. Lincoln, you've got some autumn fairies, spring fairies, and winter fairies. So you play in a kind of climbing sense, starting with spring and play fairies going up through the numbers within spring, and then somebody else might play summer cards. So you can skip up numbers inside a season or skip up seasons across the cards as well, but you can't skip a season. So if somebody's played a spring card, you can only play a higher number spring card or any number summer card. And then you can go from summer, play through a few numbers summer, and then go to autumn. And as you do that, you're drawing extra cards to give yourself more options. The rounds kind of end when the highest card is played. So at this stage, Lincoln's got a Winter 8 card there. That's typically the highest card, but there are a few things that can trump that as well. So you'll notice Nikki's got a goblin across the far left side there. And people can play goblins onto the stash in the middle of into the swarm in the middle of the game as well. And then the goblins can be played on almost anything, and they do special chaotic powers. They're cheats. They'll do whatever it takes to get hold of those fairies. So sometimes they'll steal cards from the top of the swarm. Sometimes they'll steal cards from the fairies that other players have collected, and so on. So if you wanted to just draw me a hand, we could play through one trick if you like. And we'll play open-handed.
So is it always just one card that you're playing?
Wow.
Yeah, you always
two traps.
one card.
Who shuffled this?
All right, Nikki, would you like to go first?
Sure.
So probably an easy way to start is just pop a spring 1 down in front of the deck there, and that creates the swarm. And then you do what it says on the card, which is draw 2 more cards. All right, and then if you could drop my spring 6 down for me. And
why not the spring
trying
2?
to play it, because I'm trying to block out Lincoln from playing his spring 2 because he can't go backwards in numbers now.
So do I have to just draw at this point in time, or do I play Autumn Fairy?
No.
You can't play Autumn, it's not next.
So I would actually win this trick unless somebody has a Fairy Royal in hand. The Royal Fairies are sort of purple, magnificent fairies that can be played out of sequence at any time on anything. And there's 4 in the deck, and they're also a shoot for the moon victory. So if you get all 4 Fairy Royals in your stash, you'll win. So pop those 2 cards up there for me, up at the top there, and then that's my stash. That can be stolen from later on. That represents 2 points towards my victory. Now, Lincoln, you passed, so everybody draws up to 5 cards, so I get 1 new card.
Well, were you supposed to draw 2 when you played the 6th spring?
I was, yes. So that would be my first, and draw me 1 more. Thank you. All right, and now, Lincoln, because you passed, you're first player. So you can play any card to start a new swarm, and then you draw 2 cards.
All right.
So you said you could play any card. Could you have chosen a non-spring card?
Yes, to start the season, yes. So, Nikki,
okay.
you don't have any higher spring cards or
Summer.
Or summer.
Summer, so you can play the goblin.
Okay. Does it go into the stack?
Yep.
Okay.
And what does it say?
Take the top 2 fairies from under Hunter Goblin.
Okay, so you're only going to get 1 fairy out of that, but that's right.
You can stash it. You can stash it, or
I'm going to stash it.
Yep.
Keep
Sounds
1.
good. Okay.
Stash the other. If there were more, I guess.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. So you can choose which one. I'll play that spring 6 card, please.
The spring 6 up here?
The spring 2 card, sorry.
Okay.
The wrong part. Yeah. And I'll draw 2 more.
Got a lot of winter. Okay.
I know, you need to get out of... He has a robber
Goblin. I'm reading what it says. Play a fairy from the top of any stash onto the swarm using season rules. So I play that and then I just take this and put it on top of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep, good play. And now you get to do the drawing too.
I got another. Hey, there's a royal. There's a royal.
There's a royal.
Fairy right there.
I have to pass.
You have to pass. So
then
Nikki, you're
Lincoln
gonna win
scores.
that one. That's right.
Okay.
You'll take those cards. And now, Nikki, because you passed, you get to play first this time. I think we've all got over 5 cards, so you can just go straight on to playing.
Okay. Let's get out
So
of
if
spring.
you want to, yeah, you could go straight to autumn, where you've got
I
lots of...
am.
So you draw 1,
And then stash one.
and then you stash 1 from your hand, any of those cards.
You're like, spring's gone.
Spring's gone.
Okay, I guess I'll be playing the autumn 3 card.
But you
And
could
I'll draw
play
a
a
new
winter if you wanted to.
I could have, but I want to stash some cards, so and draw some more. So could you draw me a card, please, Lincoln? And then stash my winter 1 card, please. Because that's the weakest of the winter cards that I have. Great.
Yep.
Now,
Ooh.
good. All right, so you just straight up stash a card.
Do I want to
yeah,
stash
Nikki,
the
that's-
fairy queens, or do I want to stash stuff like the autumn card that I can't play, or the 2
It's a
winter?
good question. Fairy royals are worth 2 points at the end of the game, as opposed to normal fairies, which are only worth 1. And also, if you get all 4 of them in your stash, you automatically win the game right at that point. So sometimes stashing them is the right thing to do, but they'll also get you out of trouble because you can play them on any card. So you can play out a
Right.
suit, and if somebody plays a trap, you can come in out of turn and play a trap. Or if somebody passes, you can come in out of turn and keep the game going and possibly win the trick. So I would probably keep that for now.
Okay, I'll do the autumn.
All right.
Yeah. And
I will play the greedy goblin and stash 3 cards from...
Nice.
So any 3.
That's all 3, in other words.
Oh, or all 3. Well, okay. If there were more, would I be
That's
choosing, or would it just be the 3?
it says the top 3, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it say? What does it say?
It just says stash 3 cards from under the greedy goblin.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, what are you going to do
Okay,
here?
so I'm going to play the Summer 6.
Summer
Summer
6.
6, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that'll draw me 1 new card.
party goblin.
That's my kind of goblin.
So I'm going to play the spooky goblin. I'm going to choose left or right, and we're going to pass 2 cards that way. All players pass 2 cards.
Oh.
We'll go to the right.
Okay.
What are you
I'll
going to
pass
do?
my party goblin and a winter 2.
He's got all these traps that he's saving, Nicky P.
I know, what's
know.
a trap?
I think he's probably getting ready to spring that
Spring
trap.
the trap? Yeah. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's
Okay,
a trap.
I'm going with my autumn 7.
Autumn 7.
So you draw a card and stash a card as well. And I'll go with the winter 4, I think. And I'll stash my winter 2, please. Thanks. Okay,
Ooh,
winter 8.
boom.
Well, then I will play my party goblin.
Yep.
Draw 2 cards. And each player
Wow.
draws 1.
He's got all the traps. Who shuffled these cards?
I don't know.
I know that was me.
All right. So we're at. I don't have anything higher than a winter 8 to play. So yes, I'm going to play. Here's an interesting play. See how, Nikki, you've got the Fairy Royal? Oh, no, that's not in your stash, is it? That's in your hand.
No, it's in her hand.
I'll just play trap, please. Trap for me. All right. Now, I don't know, Nikki, that you have a Fairy Royal, so I would just play the trap. So, Lincoln, if you had a trap, you could play another trap on the trap. So there's traps within traps. Try and win the trick. There's not many cards actually going in this, I think. So just have a look at how many fairies are in this swarm.
Oh,
quite a few.
a lot.
Work out whether it's worth it. I don't think there's actually too many. I think there's like 3
Yeah,
or
there's
4.
not many.
It's 4.
Yeah. So now you have to decide, is it worth risking a Fairy Royal on just 4 points? I'd say probably it is for demonstration purposes.
Sure, let's do it.
Now, that would normally break the trap, and you actually play them 90 degrees across, so you can always see the last season fairy that was played.
Oh, I see.
Including traps and that kind of stuff. So we'd still know it's Winter 8.
Okay.
So, Nikki, looking at your cards,
Yeah.
the only thing you could also play on this is another Fairy Royal, which I would do at this point.
Okay.
Because then you're winning. Now, the only thing I can beat that with is another Fairy Royal, because I'm not allowed to play traps on Fairy Royals. They have diplomatic immunity. So, and I can't play goblins on them either because they're too powerful. So, Nikki, you're going to win that trick unless, Lincoln, you had another Fairy Royal.
Right.
You could come in out of turn and play that and be one step away from winning. But, Nikki, you're going to win that entire swarm.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
So you can't play another trap card?
I couldn't because it's protected by Fairy Royals. They're too powerful for traps. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, a nice play there. And then we would all draw up to 5 and continue. And you play until it runs out. And at the end of the game, you count up how many fairies you have. And so, for example, I've got, 3 up there? A lonely 3. So I'd have 3 points, but obviously by the end of the game, I'm going to have somewhere in the teens. And you get 2 points for each Fairy Royal you have. So, Nikki, that was a good haul for you, having 4 points out of the 2, plus a few other things there. So that's the heart of the game. You're really stashing as many fairies as you can, cheating your way through, getting them however you can, trying to win tricks, but also stealing fairies from each other. And
Plus these 4.
That
That's 4
sounds
points
really
right there.
great. I love climbing games, so this is definitely one I would want to check out. And the art is amazing.
well,
Yes,
we do like
14.
14.
I know 14 to my
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Well,
6, 7,
I got
8.
2
Oh, I know. 2 fairy queens. That's-
fairy queens, so that gave me 4 points.
4 fairy royals.
Fairy royals.
That is cool.
So a pretty little fun trick-taking game as a kind of warm-up game or a final game of the night if you just want to relax into something light. Takes about 20, 25 minutes, 3 to 5 players. Definitely not a 2-player game this one. So but definitely very, very good with families. We tested it extensively with kids, and they seem to have a great time with all the cheeky tricks you can do in the game.
Sure.
Again,
There's
on
a
the
lot
Geek
of
Game
tricky
Shop,
tricks.
so you can get it.
Right away.
Yeah.
Any audience questions for Kim? We're at the end of the day.
I know we're at the end of the day, so there were none that I saw, that Beth saw.
Did our Discord link go up? I didn't notice it come up.
Which one?
We've got a
Discord link.
Oh, the Discord link. Yeah.
I didn't
Scott,
notice.
Make
but
sure it goes up here. And you could probably.
Beth says the link did go up, yes. So
okay.
if you would like to play Fluttering Souls,
You should.
You can join. Yeah, you can join Kim and play right now.
On Tabletop Simulator.
Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, it's
Well,
about
thanks,
4
Kim.
o'clock PST right now, right? So
Yeah.
we'll be around for the next 3 or 4
Yes.
hours playing.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim.
Great.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Good to
Very
see
much.
you again.
Yeah.
You too.
Love both of
Thank
them.
you.
Stay safe.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.